Well. Hello there, Professor. It is I, Tashawn, one of your wonderful students that was in your course this year. I just wanted to congratulate all of us for making it to the end of another wacky year. You've dealt with COVID or whatever. So, for my course project, yes, I know it was supposed to be originally a paper. However, due to injuries that I've had, I requested to make it multimedia. However, I am quite a bit burnt out from finals week. Along with this, I have like 4 more videos that I have to create. So this one is gonna be a little bit lazy. And by lazy, I mean it's basically just gonna be me talking with it's gonna be in the video essay format where I tell you information, and the video in the background is gonna have like absolutely no relevance to what I'm talking about. However, I will try to keep the theme of making whatever's in the background relate to America in a way, but I am also a gamer, so it's most likely going to be a video game. But anyways, hello, that was my introduction. So what is a civil liberty? According to Britannica, everything that I say in this video I'm gonna put a link to it in the description. Okay, so basically, a civil liberty is freedom from arbitrary interference in one's pursuit by individuals of government. By that, they mean, okay, let me just give you a simpler definition of the word civil liberty. So, the most bare bones definition of what a civil liberty generally is: it's the state of being subject only to laws established for the good of the community, especially within regard to freedom of action and speech. Again, you may not know this, but I am an avid candidate for freedom of speech and freedom of action. More so speech than action, because the stuff you say does not carry as much weight as the things you actually physically do. So that is what I will define as civil liberty. And if you want a different definition of what civil liberty is, I read over here, civil liberties are guarantees and freedoms that governments commit not to abridge, either by constitution, legislation, or judicial interpretation without due process. By that, it means they basically can't take away your civil liberty without due process. Like, for example, let's say today we are all legally allowed to own a vat of acid in your house. They can't just make a new law the next day saying, hey, you can't have that in your house anymore. They basically have to go through steps. There are steps that they have to take, which is usually either through Congress or through the US Supreme Court, which is what I'm going to get into next. So, a liberty that I chose to talk about was the right of privacy. And after doing my research, I found out that the right to privacy is not explicitly stated in the Constitution. However, the Supreme Court has said that there are multiple amendments in the Constitution that imply that the right to privacy is a civil liberty. And by that, I will get into it. So, for example, the First Amendment is definitely one that I could say affects your civil liberty of right to privacy. The First Amendment basically is the right of free speech, and it's also the same amendment that gives you the right to believe whatever you want to believe, being religion. So right here in my notes, I have written down saying that the First Amendment protects the privacy of belief. So basically you can believe whatever you want to believe. Let's say you want to believe that flying spaghetti monster is God, or you want to practice Islam or Judaism. The government has no right to tell you that your beliefs are wrong. The government has no right to even ask you what your beliefs are, because that is your private belief. The next amendment that also implies the right to privacy would be the Fifth Amendment. So the Fifth Amendment protects you against self-incrimination, which in turn protects the privacy of personal information. What does that mean? Okay, so with the Fifth Amendment, let's say you go to court and they asked you, what were you watching on your computer at 3 a.m? You can plead the Fifth and basically say, hey, no, I plead the Fifth. I don't want to tell you. It's none of your business. This is my right to privacy. I can choose not to say stuff that will self-incriminate me. And now that I'm reading or saying this, I'm not sure if you can plead the Fifth in court. I'm pretty sure you can plead the Fifth in a police interrogation, but I'm not too sure if you can plead the Fifth in court. Moving on. Another amendment that explicitly is for the right to privacy would be the 14th Amendment, which is going to link to my next topic of a U.S. Supreme Court case. So the 14th Amendment broadly is talking about the civil liberty of the right to privacy. And by the right to privacy, it's very broad. So basically it's the right to privacy that comes to the decision of having children, marriage, whatever you want to do with your life. Basically, it's the right of privacy to do whatever you want to do when it comes on to your body or your interaction with loved ones or people that you want to procreate with or make a family with, essentially. So I guess in that case, the right to privacy would be the 14th Amendment, essentially. So now where this ties in with my Supreme Court case. So the Supreme Court case that I am taking, the Supreme Court case that I wanted to talk about is the Roe v. Wade. So Roe v. Wade happened all the way back in 1973. If you're born in 1973, you are over 40 years old now. So you're pushing 50. So Roe v. Wade was a landmark decision of the U.S. Supreme Court in which the court ruled that the Constitution of the United States will protect a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion without excessive government restriction. What that means is, under constitutional law, the government has no right to tell a woman whether or not she can have an abortion. My body. It's my body, my choice. We've had this movement going on for years now. It's been popping up in the media a lot recently. And this case single-handedly created Planned Parenthood. And Planned Parenthood, yes, a lot of people are against what Planned Parenthood does, but contrary to popular belief, Planned Parenthood does not only do abortions, they also help like young teenage parents or just parents that can't even help to take care of their own children. Planned Parenthood is there to give you, let's say, contraceptives, abortions, like I already mentioned. They also guide you with the steps of taking care of a child or even helping you throughout pregnancy. Like, let's say you got pregnant at 15, you're not sure what you want to do. Your parents are very religious, so they're against you getting an abortion. So instead, you go to Planned Parenthood, they help you with the steps or whatever. Whatever the case may be, Planned Parenthood is not only for abortions. However, with the Roe v. Wade case. Recently, there's been a lot of political issues with the Roe v. Wade case. They're trying to use judicial review. I hope I'm using that term correctly, but basically now the Supreme Court is contesting against Roe v. Wade, and there are already multiple states in America that straight out either try to outlaw abortions or are in the process of outlawing abortions, which is definitely impacting the constitutional right that I chose, because I am a very big person. Wait. I'm a person that is very big on right to privacy, which in my own opinion, yes, I'm bringing my opinion into this. Sorry, let me back up. The right to privacy is the right to do whatever the hell you want to do, as long as it does not infringe on someone else's right to do whatever they want to do, whether it's whatever they want to do with their own property, whatever they want to do with their own bodies. At the end of the day, mind your damn business, in my opinion. As long as they're not harming themselves or actively trying to hurt others, why should we care? And this sparks a debate of whether or not a blastocyst or even an embryo is considered a living being, even a fetus, which I'm not going to get into because that's going to make this video a lot longer than it needs to be. But overall, I just wanted to say that the current talks of repealing the Roe v. Wade decision is definitely impacting this right to privacy that so many people their livelihoods would be destroyed if they got rid of Roe v. Wade. Because what happens if a 14-year-old girl gets raped? And what happens if she not only gets raped, but she gets raped by like a father or a family member, and now she's pregnant? Does she have to carry a child that she may or may not know if she'll have the ability to love that child? Or even, what if the pregnancy will affect her health? What if she can't harbor a child, and having given birth to that child will be the demise of her? What do we do in those situations? And moreover, wow, that actually summarized the other point of how the civil liberty would affect the lives of people living in the US. Wow, I did not expect to kill two birds with one stone. But yeah, in conclusion, mind your damn business. Stop trying to tell people what they can and can't do. If they're not destroying other people's properties or destroying their own bodies, why should we care? America's a free country. Do whatever you want. For a country that is supposedly supposed to be the land of the free, we are definitely trying to make a lot more restrictions than we need to do. In our society that is supposed to be very progressive, I find it very weird that we're making a bunch of laws or repealing old laws, which would essentially make this a police state or communist Russia / China. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Thank you, Professor, for allowing me to make this into a video instead of writing a paper. That helped me out a lot. I hope what I said in this video resonates with you, and I hope you enjoy your winter break and have fun. Spend time with your family, you know, sit around the Christmas tree, sit under the mistletoe, whatever you may do with your time. Maybe you don't even celebrate Christmas. Sorry for assuming that you do. And yeah, that's the end of my course project. Yeah, have a nice day.